Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm a bit under the clock today. I had a very wonderful evening, and some surprises came up. Some surprise plans. Nothing wrong with a little bit of spontaneity, and that means that I only have so much time before my time limit is up. I wrote down on my critical tasks list today that I want to finish my screen time at 1 a.m. The way I treat these tasks are like a contract that I can't take back. When I write something down for a given day, if it's written, it must be done. There is no crossing it out and adding in something different. When I'm creating my list in the morning, I have to think really hard about how is it that I want the day to look. So this morning, I said I want to be done by 1 a.m. Then the surprises happened, and I don't want to let myself down. So I'll be done by 1 a.m. And before you get any ideas about how I should be more lenient with myself or anything like that, I want to say that after 1 a.m. is usually when I do a lot of nothing on the screens. So watching videos, playing games. So it's more that I'm cutting that out. I wanted to clarify that. So anyways, I'll be done soon enough. I'll have everything posted, and then I'll be getting to bed, ready for a nice long night's rest. But before I go, I had some fun things that I wanted to talk about. There are things that I think are fun. It started out this morning when I was coming up with what are my 10 daily ideas. What creativity can I spark at the start of my day, get my mind moving, and maybe create something new in my list. I started thinking about my book again. I started thinking about how I wanted to structure the book, what I wanted to really create. And I came to this conclusion that I didn't want to write a book that was going to be boring and hard to read. I knew I wanted to make something that had a good flow, it was entertaining, and contained a lot of usable value. I don't just want someone to leave my book feeling good. I want them to have the opportunity to incorporate parts of it, use the lessons within their own life. And in order to do that, they need to get to the end of the book. They need to expose themselves to all the contents of the book. For that reason, it needs to be a page turner. It needs to be interesting. I started thinking about different story ideas and how it would be a fun twist to do this personal development type book, but using a lot of story elements along the way. Maybe there would be a main character, and the main character would be very relatable to my ideal client, the person that I most want to help. And they're not just my ideal client. They're pretty much me, but a few steps before where I am now. This book would pretty much be an ode to that old version of myself that didn't know as much as I knew now. And the main character would have a list of problems, a list of objections, and a list of excuses, but would follow the hero's journey. And upon this journey, they'll discover the tenets that I talk about. Even now, as I'm speaking about this, and you're here listening or reading about it, I'm coming up with ideas and writing them down as fast as I can. I'm not always in this mode of creative output. I recognize myself to not be in that mode all the time. Sometimes I'm resting, sometimes I'm recovering my thoughts, my body. So I know that when I do feel this urge to create, and I do have all these ideas that would be incredible to implement, I make sure to write them down. I make sure to capture them. I have my little notebooks with me to do just that, because I know I won't always have what I have now. I want to take advantage of the skills and the gifts that I've been given. I want to be honest about one thing that's on my mind and on my heart right now. It's about how I feel about where I am. I just have to say that I really am excited, not just about where I am, but where I'm going. I've had multiple conversations over the past few days that just reaffirm so much of what I'm doing. The reason for it is that the people I'm talking to are all people that are doing what I'm doing or have already done what I've done, and they know that what I want to do is possible. They know that what I want to create is within my own grasp. I just have to take the steps to get there. I just have to take the steps to do the thing. And those types of conversations are different from most everyday conversations I can have. When you're talking to someone who hasn't done what you want to do, it's almost like subconsciously you have to spend some portion of the time convincing them that your goal or your dream is even possible. Now, if you're doing that every single day with multiple people, multiple conversations, you'll see just how fast you get tired of having those conversations. And you're not tired of communicating your dream. You're getting tired of communicating the possibility of the dream. In your mind, from your perspective, you never have to argue the possibility. When you see your vision, you see it clear as day already. You know it's possible. When you have someone who's done it already, you skip that entire phase. You skip having to use all of that energy that you would normally have to convince someone. And you could redirect that energy towards looking into the future at next steps, or looking at the recent past or present and celebrating what's been going on. It's refreshing to have those conversations. I think if you go a long time without having those types of conversations to such a caliber, it's really easy to give up on your dream because you stop talking about your dream. I've had these moments in my past where I've had these great ideas, but after so many times of trying to convince someone that I want to make that dream a reality, I just stopped telling them about that dream. When I stopped telling them, I stopped telling other people. And then I stopped talking about it altogether. And if I don't keep it at the front of my mind, it slowly starts to dim and fall away. A dream and a vision is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. That doesn't mean the muscle fully goes away, but it does mean it gets weaker. Conversely, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you talk about your dream, the more you write it down, say it out loud to yourself even, the clearer it gets and the more real it gets. In saying this, I realized that maybe one of the reasons that I haven't given up yet is because I talk about it every single day. I'm nearly 5 months in on my most recent dreams and visions, and they're still going strong. Through all the hills and all the valleys, I still see it clear as day. For weeks now, I've been wondering why that is. Why do I still see it so clearly? And it's because I keep communicating it. I keep bringing it up. And I'm able to do that because I have people in my life that make it extremely easy to do so. They rarely question the plausibility of it. They see it as done. They see it as a reality. And they're just waiting for me to see it too. They're waiting for me to create it. I guess the moral of this story is that if you have something you want to do, anything at all, never believe it's impossible. Never believe that you're crazy. Never believe that it can't be done. Because the reality is that you're not crazy. You're just first. You may be first in your family, first in your town, first in your country, first in the world to do something. And that doesn't make you crazy. It's either that or it has been done before. They may not be in your immediate circle, but it has been done. And I recommend finding people who have done what you've done, finding people who have done what you want to do, and get as close to them as you can. Be a part of their circle. If you want to know how to do that, find a way to give them more value than you can ever ask for. Give value to the lives of the people around you, and they'll want you in their life. When you're in their life, have these conversations. Talk about what you want to do, and you'll find that the growth and the magic that comes from it is unlike anything you've ever experienced. It'll keep you going on your darkest days, and it'll be the best celebrations you have on your best days. Find your people, because truly, proximity is power. Who you surround yourself by is who you become. Surround yourself with people who are becoming someone better, someone bigger, and someone brighter. You are truly a special soul. You bring a light to this world that no one else can bring. So I'd really appreciate it if you stop dimming your light. If you get the chance, take a couple deep breaths for me, just to remember that you still can. Appreciate your heart and send some love into this world. Don't forget to fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.